I'm gonna stop you for a second.
Okay. All right. Here we go. This all begins now. Guys, get ready for this. This is what it's gonna be. If you're not into this, I'm sorry. You should have a drink with me. All right. We're back. We're back. Welcome to what we call Comics and Cocktails. A show where she reads a graphic novel that I know and love. And she basically does a book report and asks a lot of questions while I drink because I need to. So today we are going over... Actually, I'm going to let you tell them what we're going over, Miss Reporter.
We are going over Superman Secret Origin.
Yes, Secret Origin. Written by Jeff Johns. Art by...
Gary Frank.
Yes. And colors by?
John Sybil.
All right.
I need to get something off my chest right off the bat.
I haven't even introduced the drinks yet, and you're already asking questions. But yeah, go right ahead.
Am I the only one who finds Gary Frank's artwork very detailed? It is very, very detailed.
And good. Very
good.
And
I loved that. And it's very, very good. But the facial expressions just remind me of, like, I don't know, like Constant O-Face or something like.
As much as I slightly agree with you, I do think they are moments captured in time that are very odd moments, but I think that is kind of the point. So I heard somebody say that. I was watching another video, and someone described it as it's really good storytelling because of that. It's moments in time that are a little uncomfortable at time and really a little awkward, but it's to show like that these moments actually happen too. It's not always the perfect picturesque. And that kind of changed my opinion that I had of Gary Frank's art at one point.
Yeah. Which is understandable because like when Lana's figuring things out about Clark, you know, she's got like that look and stuff. I'm kind of more talking about why 10-year-old Soups looks like an 80-year-old man.
We'll get into that. we'll talk and we'll answer all those questions. But first, we need to drink. So today, I have prepared us a cocktail. This cocktail is called Son of Krypton. If you would like the ingredients to the drink, it will be in the description below, and as well, a special little bonus, if you will. If you follow us on our Instagram page, we're going to have up the, I guess, preparation of the drink, would you say?
Yeah. We took a little video prepping the drink so that you can see all the ingredients we use, how we layered the drink.
So make sure you go follow our Instagram, and everything will be right there for you.
Instagram name is @_, right?
I changed that actually. So, it is Comic Knowledge. Well, just search Comic Knowledge, and you should find us. If not, Comic Knowledge _official. Well, Comic _Knowledge _official.
All right, we're gonna redo that.
It'll be in the description. So, would you like to present the drink? We give you the Son of Krypton.
So what we've done is we've put a layer of Grenadine at the bottom, and then layered on top of that a mix of Raspberry Vodka, Peach Schnapps, Triple Sec, Curaçao,
Blue Curaçao.
Blue Curaçao, and pineapple juice. It's very, very fruity. I will say that.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm assuming it's fruity. It smells fruity.
You're gonna drink without cheersing me?
Oh my god, this man.
This is why I need to drink. This is why I need to drink.
Look at the drink.
Cheers.
Cheers to Soups.
Ooh, that's good. That is good.
It's good. It's very fruity.
Very pineapple.
Exactly what I thought it would be. But it's good. It's refreshing.
It's not too sweet. I don't mind fruity. Too sweet is what kind of gets me sometimes. But this was a good one.
No sprinkles, man.
I thought I'd go easy on you to start. Wait till I give you whiskey.
No, it's not happening. I know. I'm waiting for all of the comments about how I don't like whiskey, but I will be throwing up this entire video if I drink whiskey. So we don't want that. All right, let's get into this because I need to discuss soups.
Now's your time to shine. What is Superman's Secret Origins about? All right, so here we go.
Here's my synopsis. Clark throws a football, hits someone in the face, breaks Pete's arms. Lana's in love with him, kisses him. You get a little bzz, bzz. You get laser shooting out of his eyes. Pa Kent's like, you need to be careful because you're special. Ma Kent's like, no, we can't tell him yet. Pa Kent's like, yes, he needs to know. Ma Kent's like, no, we need to protect him. Pa Kent's like, no, he needs to know. Takes him out to the barn. Clark's all of a sudden like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. This is a spaceship. And then all of a sudden finds out that that was his parents who sent him here. And he's not from Earth. And he's a Kryptonian. And then all of a sudden freaks out and runs away. And Pa Kent chases after him and was like, you'll always be my son. And I cried a little bit. And then the tornado happens and Lana gets swept up. And then I know Lex Luthor is somewhere in there. And he is a creepy guy. And then flash forward to the Legion of Superheroes where all of a sudden they just pop out of nowhere and they're like, Clark, you're having a bad day. Let's go on a little joyride. And then you get to see Krypto. And then they fight off some bad guys. And then they bring Clark back and they're never seen from again. Never seen or heard again. That was it. And then flash forward to Clark now in Metropolis, and he goes to the Daily Planet to get a job, and Lois is like, I'm gonna become your best friend because I want to sneak into Lex Luthor's thing. And I'm gonna put on this blonde wig, and I'm gonna disguise myself because I'm not welcome anywhere because I'm a sassy Lois. And then that's it.
I'd like to challenge points 1 through 32.
The whole thing.
Not horrible. I mean, you got some key points. But I think we should maybe go into a little bit more detail of the book. Don't you think? All right.
I am on board with that because I want to learn about soups.
Well, look no further.
I do have to correct Jeff Johns on some things. He had some spelling mistakes. He had some spelling mistakes.
Yeah. I
caught them. I caught them.
How dare you defy the mighty Johns?
I'm not defying him. I'm just saying I caught some spelling mistakes. And if you want
that man could do no wrong.
You're interrupting!
He can do no wrong!
Listen, if you want to send me free comics to come up with the fact that I found your spelling mistakes, just let me know. I'm open. If you want a proofreader, I'm here.
It's called an editor.
If you want an editor, I'm here. I'm really not harping on Jeff Johns. I actually think that this was an extremely well-written book.
Going into that, Jeff Johns is one of the all-time greats for DC.
It made me want to read more. It was really well written. I got the full storyline. I got the origin. I got the history. I got the present. I got everything that I wanted out of a soups book.
So a little history about this book. So after Crisis, crises are these things in DC continuity that basically restarts all of continuity because things get really confusing after a while, and then they fuck a lot of their shit up, and they're like, ah, shit, we fuck shit up.
Oops.
Time for a crisis. And they have a crisis. So after...
That's like my daily life, man. It should be called Crisis.
if your life was a superhero comic, it'd be called Crisis.
I kind of like Mayhem. Isn't that kind of a cool, like, villainy, superhero-y kind of name? Just Mayhem.
Sounds to me like you're stuck in the 90s.
I love the 90s.
I did too.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Everything...
Are you afraid of the dark? Let's go!
Goosebumps?
Not a huge fan of Goosebumps.
Anyway, so going back to the history, this comes out of, well, so after Crisis, John Burns wrote a miniseries called Man of Steel, which was the definitive origin of Superman after Crisis on Infinite Earths. And then, fast forward through time, we get a comic called Birthright.
Can you just change the origin?
Elaborate. What do you mean change the origin? So,
Like,
continuity restarted. So everything was wiped clean, and you needed a fresh slate. So, and this was now how Superman came to be.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, the first time he was ever written, how he came to be, why wouldn't that be
Because that's
just the way
gone
it is?
now.
But why? Who said it's gone?
DC, the gods of DC.
All of a sudden, you no longer exist.
No,
and you're
so
gonna
now
recreate
you
everything.
yes, exactly.
Huh.
That's what DC does.
Can we do that with my life? Just wipe the slate clean and restart.
I mean,
I have some things I'd change.
yeah, we can reset your origin. Let me contact some people at DC.
Mayhem 2020.
Let's get the DC gods to just reset your continuity.
Bring it on. I'm ready.
So after that, Mark Waid comes around, writes a little tale called Birthright, which was actually really good. And what do you know? A lot of other people thought it was really good. And it was actually kind of different. If you read Birthright, you know what I'm talking about. And then all of a sudden, like, hey, Birthright! This is the new origin of Superman.
Okay.
Definitive origin. Done.
So that's the way that it is.
And then...
Which I'm assuming is very different than the origin from
it was
Jeff Johns.
Well, we haven't got to Jeff Johns yet.
Oh my
Then
goodness.
Jeff Johns comes around and goes, hey, guess what? I have a Superman story to tell of the origin.
DC, what are you doing?
And because Jeff Johns had a lot of pull at DC, he was like, guess what, guys? This story is now the definitive origin of Superman.
Hence, Secret Origin.
Yeah.
Because it was a secret all this time until
The
right
secret
now.
is that Jeff Johns was the only one that knew that his book was the original origin. That's the secret. So, as it stands today, this is the actual origin of Superman right now. Until
Okay.
someone else comes around and is like, you know what? No. Granted, things are a little wonky now after Rebirth and then Reborn. I'm not going to confuse you with that yet. We can get into those at another time. But
Isn't Rebirth and Reborn the same thing?
Rebirth was an event. Reborn was a Superman story that converged the New 52 with this origin.
Who knew Soups was so complicated?
It's... I wish it was only with Soups. You're lucky. Ignorance is bliss right now for you. Right now, you don't know many things where I'm here to teach you. Ignorance is bliss, because when you find out how much shit there is and how many different crises and continuity changes, and God, I have a lot of work to do. What you need to know right now is this is the origin of Superman as we speak.
Awesome. Got it.
All right, so let's go into a little bit more detail here. Let's break it down. Give me your book report, but we're gonna tell the tale. Tell the tale here. I love that image, by the way. I love the way Lex Luthor looks in this, and I have to say, one of my favorite things is the fact that Gary Frank always resembles his Superman after Christopher Reeves.
I know. I definitely picked up on that. You'd be surprised, but I did pick up on it. I have notes.
This is the page
and that's
I'm
one of
referring
them.
to. So it starts off with Clark looking up in the sky.
Yep.
And it says, "Why are you here?" You think he's talking about, why he's here on Earth, but no.
Are we alone? That's the book that Lex showed him.
The alcohol's getting to her already. Skipping ahead.
I like making connections, and when they happen, I need to express them, because I will forget them. This is going to be a jumpy video. I am telling you right now, it will be bad news bears, but I need to learn this.
The more she drinks, the better it's going to get.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so Clark's playing football.
Smashes a kid in the face.
The kid, who's the kid?
Pete.
Pete Ross.
Pete Ross.
Yes. He's one of his childhood friends. He's playing football with a bunch of kids. Pete Ross goes to, tackle him and...
breaks his arm.
Crack. Look at that face.
Look at him. He, completely made the football a pancake.
Whoa! Deflated ball to Tom Brady.
Shut. Sore subject for me.
So, Pete's kind of taken away by the EMTs. And we get Clark kind of sitting silent for a second in the car with Pa. And you find out that pre-Superman, it looks like Clark might have lied a little bit. I thought Superman never lied. So we find out that Clark has told Pa that he was going to the library to study.
And he wasn't, because he wanted to play football. Because he wanted to feel included.
It's understandable. He's a kid. He's growing up.
He wants to feel included. He's told that he can't do this stuff because he's stronger than every other kid. It is understandable. I would have lied too if I got to play football.
And I lied to play football. I did.
Do what you gotta do, man.
So next day, Pete Ross is kind of milking that injury.
Yeah, all them women.
Yeah, he's getting all the girls to sign his cast.
But it's kind of cool, though, because he's super genuine about it. And I love that. He doesn't blame Clark, probably because he's getting all the attention. And if he wasn't getting that attention, he'd probably be pissed off that his arm is now in two.
No, I think genuinely, Pete's a good kid and just,
he seems really genuine.
Doesn't really hold it against Clark.
In this story, yeah.
And then we are introduced to none other than the one, the only, Lana Lang.
That's how I look at you. I look at you and it's like, bzz, bzz. Spark, spark. Are you shoot lasers out of your eyes if I kissed you? So, Lana.
So now we are introduced to Clark finding out he has more powers.
Okay, so is this, this is something that confuses me.
Mm-hmm.
Only on this day in high school did he figure out that he can see through things. He can see
his
body
powers
parts,
are starting
he can
to manifest.
See. But, in high school?
Yeah.
On this one single day is when everything decided to happen.
I mean, he was always super strong. And maybe this is, he just kind of let himself go that day playing football. And now all of a sudden they're manifesting in the fact that he's now able to see this, because you can clearly tell he's not used to this. It's not something he's encountered before.
What if his parents, his real parents, I'm sorry, Mom, Papa, his real parents, his birth parents, I should say, not real parents, his birth parents, what if they put an intention into the universe that on this day when he was a certain age and experienced certain things,
I'm just gonna stop
is
you
when
right
all
there.
his stuff would come to fruition. What if? They're from a different planet. They could do anything they wanted. They kept themselves in a video for years.
They kept themselves in a video. They kept themselves in a video. They're not dead. They're trapped in the spaceship as a video until Clark decides, you know what, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're gonna continue.
I didn't meant they kept
So
themselves.
Clark's powers start to manifest on this day. He runs like he needs to take a shit.
She's kind of crossing her legs a little bit.
And Lana comes and talks to Clark.
Because he's figuring out all this stuff. She happens to... I mean, at this point, I knew that she knew about it. I know it wasn't revealed in the story yet, but you can just tell the way that she runs after Clark and how she wants to help him out, that she knew that he was different than everybody at this point. Which I think is a cool twist on the story.
Well, and then, we get down here to the last panel. You remember what you said the first time that I found out how strong you were. And then we go to the flashback. Back
I
in the
need to
field.
point out this flashback, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
This was, I thought, one of the most clever things, and it is probably, like, something that all of you already are aware of, but for me, I thought it was super cool when he tells Lana after he saves her that he is stronger than steel. I'm like, Man of Steel?
Yeah, I feel like that's what a little...
Steel.
That's what a little kid would say.
Like, I'm, like, out of everything, not, I'm stronger than a truck, I'm stronger than steel. Like, first off, what little kid would say that? And then I thought it was super cool because he is the man of
A
steel.
little kid written by Jeff Johns, that's who would say it.
But, like, no little kid's gonna be like, I'm stronger than this. You're like, I'm as strong as, like, a gorilla or something.
I mean, take his background into consideration. He's being raised by farmers. Maybe he would know.
And they were
The strength of
steel that...
Yeah, exactly. And this
steel choppers.
Yeah, so
Whatever
maybe taking into consideration, he would know what steel, or that's what he would know what steel is. Yes,
It just
how
stuck
strong
out
steel
to
would be.
me that it was so different, but it was such a little plug in there, and I thought it was so cool that got put in there. I'm stronger than steel. Yeah, you are, because you're the man of steel.
Damn right I am. All right, now we go back to the conversation with Clark and Lana, and I know you want to get to this part, so...
She gives him a little kiss and a little bzz, bzz, and then he shoots lasers. Well, he almost does. He doesn't do it yet.
He kind of does.
Oh,
but
he does do it at this point, and then
not...
sets the school on fire. That is this point.
So. Lasers is really heat, but...
Heat vision.
Heat vision, yes. So lasers, not so much. Heat vision, yeah.
Is it like lava?
I think it's just heat. Like a heat beam. Not lava.
Like a laser? And then sets the school on fire, and everything's cool. And then Lana has a very weird expression on her face. Like, what is my life? What did I just get into? Holy shit, this guy's kind of creepy, but I still love him. That's what I feel like is going through her mind right now.
Yeah. Okay. So fast forward to after, everyone's evacuated from the school because Clark nearly burns the damn thing down. Pa comes back again.
He's ready for the scold, man.
And then this is where we kind of get Pa sympathizing with Clark because he knows that Clark is different, and he doesn't necessarily know why Clark is different, but he knows something that Clark doesn't know. Let me come to find out. So later that night, they're having a conversation about how special Clark is, and I think Martha, where you at? Martha. Yeah, Martha's telling Clark there's nothing wrong with him.
And she says you're special.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he knows this already. He's been told his whole life he's special.
And we kind of go back in history and see Clark blow out his birthday candles, or his entire cake.
Can you imagine that? How pissed would you be? I would be pissed. So I am a girl who loves birthday cake. Like, cake. Okay? If I went to a birthday party and someone blew out the whole cake, I would be pissed. Like, first off, that is probably the only reason I am at your party in the first place, is because I know there's gonna be cake afterwards at some point. And then you go and blow out your whole cake, I'd leave. We would probably not be friends.
It's not gonna be a thing now. You're gonna blow out the whole cake. Not just kidding. Blow out the cake.
Happy birth.
Happy birth.
So, quick little plug here. My birthday last year, instead of spelling out happy birthday on my birthday cake, Casey decided to judge the space a lot smaller than he anticipated and wrote happy birth because birthday wouldn't fit. So that has become our thing as we say happy birth. It's not wrong.
It's a great tradition.
It's not wrong either way, and I thought it was funny, so that's all that matters.
And luckily everyone else did too.
And yes, it had dinosaurs on it.
The camera. Yeah, there it is.
Happy birth, Clark. You blew out your whole cake. Everyone's pissed. It's fine.
I don't really think anyone's pissed, but that's okay.
I'm like, to even see it in drawing, like to see it in illustration that there is no cake.
Guys, I thought this would be funnier because I'd be drinking. It's even funnier because she's drinking.
I need another drink, actually. Let's pause and make another one.
So we're moving.
Got a new drink. Moving on. Let's go.
So we're moving along here.
We're only on like page 7, by the way, and I finished a full drink.
I can hear it in your voice.
Let's go.
So Martha's telling Clark there's nothing wrong with him, and Clark's kind of feeling a little down because he doesn't understand why all these things are happening.
Which is understandable. There were, like, think of when we all went through, like, puberty. Nobody knew what was happening. Everyone was confused. This is his everyday, and it's to, like, the 10th extreme.
It makes you think that maybe Clark or Superman is a little bit more human and identifiable than people think he is.
He's relatable, for sure, to, like, the 10th degree. Oh. And then Pa Kent decides, you know what? It's time. It's time he knew.
And Clark's all like, what? He needs to tell me
Kind of
what?
like when Mufasa had to tell Simba about his legacy. It's time.
It's time. Yes, it's time for another sip. So now we take Clark out to the shed and shoot him like Old Yeller.
Are you kidding me? He's obviously joking. But
you read the book!
That's the point. The fact that you know what's going to happen doesn't make it okay to say stuff.
So we take Clark out to the shed, and we lift up the floorboards, and...
Surprise spaceship that we've had forever!
Suddenly spaceship!
Guess what? You were born here. I mean, you weren't born here, but you were sent here. Look, we're gonna re-edit.
No! I think you've had enough.
Casey, we're gonna re-edit.
No, we're not. This is what the best part of this is. You're drinking. Of course you're gonna say things.
Surprise! You were born here. Well, you actually weren't born here, but you were sent here on the surprise ship that we've kept in the bottom of our barn this entire time. Why does it look like he's very courageously just lifting up that board when that board is obviously 10 times larger than what it
well,
is?
I mean...
Oh, there's multiple.
There's multiple
There's
ones
multiple.
there. Yeah. So.
And the whole time Clark's lived here, he's never thought, this is a little hollow when I step on it. Let's see what's under it. Do you think he would have had, like, space powers, like, would have been drawn to the spaceship?
So there's some iterations that he does, and there's also different things, like, if you saw Burn Bright, one of the two, he's drawn. Yeah, we're not even going to talk about that.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes.
I just love that he's, like, totally being a normal kid. Like, this is so awesome, this is the coolest spaceship, and then finds out it's his parents and loses his shit.
Well, yes. So yes, Clark touches the spaceship, and all of a sudden, Kryptonian language starts coming out of it.
Okay, so that's where I'm coming from. If he touches the ship, and all of a sudden this video pops up, like, how was he not drawn to this for so long?
I think that he doesn't have a connection with the spaceship. It's just a
because he never knew about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a ship. It doesn't have any magical powers. That's just like...
Well, no, but it's holding, like, the secret...
drawing Clark to the fucking spaceship. It's just a spaceship.
I get that, but it's holding the message of his parents. It's what he was transported in. There's Kryptonian just essence in it. You think he would have been, like, drawn to it at some point, but maybe not. Like, I know. I know. I'm like getting too much into this, but these are the questions that
that is a good thing, but in this story,
okay, Jeff Johns, how come he was not?
He's got a Twitter. You can just @him. Ask him that question. Just
I'm sure there is a legitimate reason. I'm always going to question that until I find out what the legitimate reason is. If anyone does know the legitimate reason, let us know in the comments. Because I am a curious cucumber.
As far as I know, for this book, there's just no power that draws him over there. It's just a ship, no connection besides the fact that he was traveled in it to Earth. Mm-hmm. So, yes, so Clark touches spaceship and out pop a holographic version of Jor-El and Lara. And then we get the classic, "Hello, Kal-El.
I'm Jor-El. I am your father." Mm-hmm. Vader.
So he learns the names of his parents.
I'm your father, Vader.
He learns the names of his parents. Do you see why now I need to drink during these?
Luke, I am your father.
That's Marvel.
That's Marvel?
Who owns Marvel?
Oh, I'm not talking about that. I just think it's funny that it's like a connection.
I know. I'm just letting you know that we're doing DC.
I know. But one of the most amazing cinematic moments in history was when Vader said, "Luke, I am your father."
Were you alive for that? No.
No, probably not, but
No.
It was still super cool.
No, you weren't.
It doesn't matter if I was.
I wasn't.
Were you
even
alive when Superman was born? No, I didn't think so.
Back in 1938? No, I can't say I was.
Exactly. You were not one to talk.
I wish I was the one doing all the talking.
You kind of are.
So we meet Jor-El and Lara. I think that's like the third time I've said this now. And then he looks at Ma. Ma is kind of...
Well, she's upset, and she has a right to be, because he's finding out that she's not his real parents. Like, I would be devastated.
I mean, I don't think she's finding out now for the first time that she's not.
He is finding out for the first time.
I might have misheard you, but I'm pretty sure
I probably said that, but aside from that fact, he is finding out for the first time, and she's devastated because she knows what's going through his mind right now and how devastated he must be that he now knows.
Yep. And we learn about the fate of Krypton and what happened.
Oh, here comes the fire eyes.
Yeah, Clark gets a little angry. Yells no.
I'm not gonna lie, when I was reading this the first time, I thought it was kind of funny how he's like, "This is awesome! Rah, I'm bad at everything!" I get why. I just thought it was funny.
I mean, so it's awesome because he didn't know what was to come. And now he's finding out that he's from a different planet. He already feels, for lack of a better term, alien.
Yeah.
So now it's confirming that he kind of, well, is, not kind of, he is alien. Yeah. So now those feelings of separation from everyone else are just intensified tenfold, or even more so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can understand the anger that would come with that.
Exactly, and that's what I was saying. It's understandable. It's just kind of funny how, like, one page he's like, "This is awesome," and then Pa Kent's like, "You came in this," and he's like, "It's still awesome," and then just destroys it.
And then, like, you get the confirmation, especially with this page, where he's like, "You are not one of them," and that's where he really gets angry, because there's your confirmation.
Yeah.
And
he knows he's felt alien for so long, and now he's got that validation.
Yep. And it doesn't sit well with him.
Yeah.
So he blasts the ship, and we notice nothing happens to the ship when he,
because it's Krypton.
He starts yelling, "Go away!" and kind of rushes out there into the field.
And this is the Pa Kent moment that is so...
And I really love how this moment, well, I can't say this parallels it, but if you remember in Man of Steel, when he's sitting on the truck, and Jonathan kind of comes out, and they're talking about the incident with the bus, and he just looks at Jonathan, he's just like, "Can't I just be your son?" And then we get the same thing I believe that Snyder took for that was from this book, where "You are my son." And it's almost the exact same moment, just...
Because it's so true.
Yeah. just a little different, and it's one of my favorite pages and moments in this book.
And then you get Creepy Lex.
And then we are introduced to none other than the one, the only Lex Luthor.
His eyes are like this the whole time.
Yep, and he has hair.
You ain't bald yet?
Nope, he's not.
I'm gonna jump ahead.
No.
Alright.
No, we will get there. Because if you keep jumping ahead...
I can't help it. I am impatient.
Don't I know it?
I can't help it.
Don't I know it? So, we get a brief page of Lex, and he stumbles across some kryptonite.
But, okay, how does he just stumble upon it? Is he just, like, out for a joyride in the woods and is just like, hey, kryptonite, the one and the only that's never been discovered before, and all of a sudden I'm, like, tripping over it?
Well, technically, I think his father's tripping over it, but... Because his father is a massive alcoholic in this book. His father is not the,
Yes.
money Mongol that he is in other,
Is this
adaptations.
Lex's origin now, too?
This is the Lex origin right now. Actually, you know what? I'm not as up to date as I could be with Lex Luthor. I'm assuming, since this is canon, that this would be his origin, but I could be wrong. I just want to say that. I could be wrong, but as far as I know, this is still canon for Lex's origin. So his father's alcoholic. He is running after Lex, I believe. That's right, because I'm not finished with you. Leave him alone, Dad. So you see Lena Luthor. And Lex is running. So it does look like Lex stumbles upon it. And yes, we see a glowing rock, which we later come to find out is
Kryptonite. Which again, it's just so weird to me.
It is a little oddly placed there. I mean, yeah, it's just, hey, all of a sudden.
I mean, technically, how else are you gonna find it? I get it. Like, how else does anybody find anything? You just run into it. But, like, I don't know. It's just kind of awkward how, like, after that, I don't know.
You're kind of awkward.
I am very awkward, and I accept this fact about my life.
I'm still working on that.
You're the one who's agreed to spend your life with me.
We'll get to that later. So we get to either the next day or a couple days later, and Clark is going to school, and we get his famous glasses.
Mm-hmm. The big old glasses that are bigger than his face.
Yep. And
I love how Ma Ken's just like, yo, let me squeeze your little cheeks.
Love it.
I did.
And we find out they're made out of material from the ship, because
which is super
she
cool.
noticed when his heat vision went out, it never
hit the ship.
Well, it hit the ship, but never hurt the ship.
Yep.
Hurt.
That is the coolest, like... Okay, so here is another question I have. If his heat vision does not destroy the ship, how was she able to make glasses out of the ship? That seems like steel that you can't even begin to work with. How was she able to make glasses when his heat vision would just bounce right off it? I wonder if it was just reflective or something like that. It could have been. But either way...
it was... So, I'm sorry, it's not from the ship. That's my mistake. It's actually from the crystals. Hey, you read it too. You read it too.
Yeah, but I'm the dumb one here.
Blame it on the alcohol. Is that how that goes? I don't even know.
I'm not that dumb, I swear.
So it's made out of crystals. That's why they're clear. I mean, yeah, okay. So
that makes all the more sense.
I did a little bit of a dumb there.
No, it's fine.
So
we all do a dumb.
She makes it out of the crystals, and then you get the flashback of her going back after the conversation or the encounter with with his parents.
That is something that confused me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. She was so distraught at the fact that Clark now knew that she was no longer his mother.
Well,
like birth mother, I should say. She's freaked out, and then all of a sudden just runs back in the barn and was like, Oh,
So
this
I
is
don't
sweet.
think she was distraught about him finding out that she wasn't, or they weren't his birth parents. I think it's more that he was upset, so she was upset. You know, it was
Probably.
emotional for her.
Probably.
You know, he's discovering this, and now he knows the truth, and you know, she probably wants him to feel like they're his parents, or you know, is his opinions and thoughts going to change of him now that he knows the truth? Is he going to want to leave?
I think it was just more for me the way, and again, this is nothing against Jeff Johns at all, but the way that it was written. She's like, this is so scary. Ah, what's happening? Oh, that's sweet.
Are you talking about this page in particular? Yeah. Okay, so
just the transition of it was
this
so...
page. You have to remember. So she's seeing Brainiac, who is a massive villain. She's seeing Zod, and then all of a sudden a projection of Doomsday comes flying at her head. That's what you're seeing. I mean, if that came at me, projection or not, I'm gonna fucking be scared as shit.
Right, which I understand.
So
I think it's just the transition into, like, she's like, oh my god, that's scary. Oh, that's sweet. Like, just
well,
like,
yeah,
so
quick. I mean, she's scared of Doomsday. She gets knocked over, and then she starts seeing the, you know, civilization of Krypton.
No, once you explain it, it makes a lot more sense.
And then you get, you know, you see the garb of the Kryptonian culture, and that's where she gets her next idea from.
Yep. The suit.
Mm-hmm. So fast forward, we are seeing Clark back at school, and they're all kind of
making fun of him,
picking on him because
glasses.
he won't, because of his glasses, and he has to constantly deny to play football now because he knows he shouldn't be playing football.
That's all he wanted to do in the beginning. He just wanted to be a normal kid.
And I like the parallel how it always goes back to the football thing. So if you go back to the original Superman movie with Christopher Reeve, there's the famous scene, which is one of my favorite scenes of all time, where Pa is talking to Clark, and you know they're walking side by side, and Pa's got his arm around him, and he's like, "Clark, I know you're here for a reason, but I don't think it's to play. I don't think it's not here to score touchdowns," and it's just one of my all-time favorite scenes, and I like the parallel of that kind of how football ties back into this book.
Exactly.
So he is. He's at the fair now. He's at the Smallville fair after.
Don't look at the piggy. I know, big little piggy.
He's at the fair, and this is where him and Lex Luthor meet for the first time. He walks by, I guess, like his booth, if you will.
Yeah.
And Lex is selling a bunch of his own books because he's trying to gain money so he can leave Smallville forever and go to the greatest city of all time, which is Metropolis. Because all great men live in Metropolis. If you are somebody.
Rule the world.
If you are somebody, you live in Metropolis. Yep.
Yeah.
So
I love the book though. Like, are we alone?
And I love Clark's response. He's like, yeah, the answer is yes. Just instantly, he's like, I've read them all. And you know, we have this really cool encounter, and it's cool that Clark isn't really turned off to Lex. He kind of consents that, like, hey, this guy's kind of different like me. He's kind of a loner or whatever.
Yeah.
And this guy's kind of cool. But
and then all of a sudden,
Lex pulls out his greatest treasure all of a sudden. We get this great image of Clark having this like physical emotional breakdown.
I mean, it kind of looks like you when you wake up in the morning.
Maybe.
You can't get up.
Crippled.
Yo, man.
Old. So, Clark needs to get the hell away from the kryptonite.
But he can't move, and
so it starts to rain, and
then a twister, and Lana gets sucked up.
Tornado happens. Yep. And Clark is kind of it's his first call to action, where
and then he discovers that he can float.
Fly. Fly like an eagle to the sea. I just want to fly. Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. I know, I switched up.
I mean, it worked, but it's totally different song.
I saw that, and I just wanted to... Wouldn't it have been awesome if he was wearing
It's like a Fortnite character with the pink,
wearing that
pink teddy bear head.
Teddy bear head. Teddy bear head.
Teddy bed head?
Teddy bed head. The teddy bed head.
Could that be a thing now?
Teddy bed head.
We can't put that on there.
Put whatever I want. So yes, we discover that Clark is now flying. Mm-hmm. And
he's not graceful at landing as they land in a river.
Mm-hmm. They're always crashing together.
But then she kisses him again and
Yep,
he holds it together.
Well, he doesn't hold it together. What happens is the glasses reflect it.
Ah,
So it doesn't burn Lana alive.
Pants.
So, you know.
Ma Kent knows her shit.
So is that like the Kryptonian way of getting a boner?
Bzz, bzz.
Like your eyes just all, instead of they're just I mean
probably.
it's twice now he kind of got a little excited on
I think it was more like shock that it happened, and that's what it's.
Nah, I think it's a boner.
All right. I mean, obviously he has kids at some point.
This is great content. This is great kid content. So Clark gets home that night, and he is a whole different Clark. He is super excited that he has these abilities.
He lifts up pocket with one arm.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It was incredible. You know, it's just, he's super
I wish
happy.
I could do that when I came home when something good happened. It was incredible, and just lift things up.
So Ma walks out of the room,
I just want to lift up,
and
like,
she brings...
I'm like back on that. Just walk in and lift up my teddy bear. It's incredible.
Oh, I'm sure you're going to do that from now on when we go to bed. I look forward to this.
I just lift you up. It's incredible, and then throw you to the side.
The Incredible Hulk.
She-Hulk.
You are wearing green.
It's true. And I could technically be from, like, a different planet. Got my little planet. You don't know my life.
You are out of this world.
Aww.
Don't touch me. So Ma walks out of the room to grab something that she had made for Clark.
And it's the
And
suit.
she describes that yes, but the suit, it is a suit, but she describes that it is made from the blankets, I guess.
That he was wrapped in as a baby. I know, that was the best part. It was so cool.
And I love that she talks about she went through scissors, a sewing machine, whatever.
Multiple pairs.
And Pa's like, well, you better wear it because she broke your favorite machine trying to make this for you. You don't want to disappoint. You don't want to disappoint
Make your
mom,
mama happy.
And he's like, no, I don't. And she's like, I know you don't. Little noogie on the head.
This is probably one of my favorite parts about this whole book.
So Clark goes upstairs, puts on the suit, and was walking down the stairs, and you get Martha. It's adorable. And here's Clark. Take a good look, because today is the last time you're ever going to see me wear this.
So the reason why I think this is probably my favorite part about the whole story is it just reminds me of a kid getting ready for prom. Like, your parents are at the bottom of the stairs, like, waiting for you to come down, and instead of coming down in a prom suit, which he should be wearing because he's in high school, he's coming down in his soups suit. And it is just the funniest thing because he has the same exact expression that I feel like any other kid would have dressed in a suit. Like, why are you making me wear this? Like, this is so stupid. Let me just go. It's awesome. It's probably one
I'm
of my
actually
favorite
going to give
parts.
you that was really good. She gets one.
Only one. I'm allowed one a video. That's it.
And that's the end of the first issue. Now we move on.
4 hours later.
So moving on, we get to...
The Awkward Legion of Superheroes.
Well, we're not quite there yet.
Oh, it's coming. Oh, it's coming. And I've got words.
Okay. So we go back to Smallville, or I guess we never really left Smallville. So we're in Smallville.
This would be Lex's
and
dad,
this
right?
This is Lionel Luthor. And he is, again, day drinking. Drunk.
I mean, we're day
Driving.
drinking.
And
It's a fair point. It's a fair point.
and Lionel swerves. And he's about to go off the cliff. Actually, he does. He does go off the cliff. And all of a sudden, we see this red cape.
Mm-hmm. You know,
He's
it's soups.
And we are treated to this lovely picture of Superman lifting up the car with one hand. Well, Superboy, I'm sorry. Because he's not Superman yet. He's Superboy.
He's a child.
Child.
He's a child.
Superboy lifting up the car and saving Lionel.
Some milk.
So they bring him, he drops the car off at the police department because he's like, yo, you are drunk.
Yeah.
You need to go. And, as you can see, the
Lex
people...
has to, bail him out.
Well, don't get too far ahead because you find out that he's, this is quite, the occurrence for Lionel. And they call Lex. And Lex is kind of shocked to hear that his father is still alive. Because you find out the reason the car swerved, yes, he was drunk, but Lex cuts the brakes.
How did I
on the
miss
truck.
that?
I don't know. See, this is why we discuss these things. So Lex tries to sabotage his daddy.
How did I miss that? Clearly I'm not paying attention to detail. Or I just don't like villains.
That's a lie. You like the Joker.
I like Loki. More than I like the Joker.
So then we go to all of kind of the headlines of Clark saving the day. So he's been doing this now.
Yep.
He kind of does his thing.
It's after school program.
Yeah, it's his after school program, actually. I'll give you that one too. That was
It's his after school job. We all
Yep.
had one.
his extracurricular activity.
Put that on your college resume.
Superboy.
Your everyday Superboy. Gets into Harvard.
What was your what was your activity after school? Well, you see, I saved trucks. I took cats down from a tree.
How does that not get you into something like Harvard? Like, if I read that application and I found out that was Superboy, no questions asked, you're in.
See, I think that's the point. You're not supposed to, exploit the fact that you're Superboy or Superman. That's what the opposite of the Kents try to instill in him.
I'm aware, but I'm just saying, if he wanted to go to college, he could go.
Yeah. I
mean, eventually the world's gonna know who he is anyways.
Kinda. Clark Kent would get into school. Superman would. We find that Clark is looking up into the sky, trying to find any
sign of his home life.
Thank you, as I'm choking on sprinkles.
That probably, I'm not gonna lie, that looks like a telescope from that I had from Walmart when I built my own. And it did nothing.
That's why he's using his, his extra
His
vision.
heat vision?
Well, I don't think the heat vision is going to help him look into
I was
the
making
universe.
a joke too earlier when you laughed at me for the lasers.
I'm still laughing.
The lava light.
Light eyes. Oh god, he's got lava light eyes.
I want lava light eyes. Can we get a couple lava lamps when we move?
Yeah.
Fuck
I
yeah.
used to have 2. They're gone now, but I used to have 2.
I don't think I ever had one. I think my older sister Brandy had one, but I don't think I did. Anywho,
And then
lava
lamps. We get, this page where he's talking to Pa Kent, and they're talking about him looking, for pieces of his hometown, his homeland. Homeland. We try to find. We get this page of Pa talking to Clark about finding his home world, and we get this. We're treated to this little nice dialogue of, I wonder if I really am alone.
No,
and, you'll never be alone, son.
Yep.
I
because you have a cousin. You have a cousin who's gonna come at some point. See, I know stuff. I know stuff.
So now...
It's not all bad news bears up in here.
Depends on whose side you're looking at.
I look on the side of positivity.
So is that glass still half full?
No. No, it's not. I'm a pessimist. It's fine.
So we are now back at school, and we get another interaction between Clark and Lex. And they actually... So they never really met when they first met over at the fair. So now Clark really
I think
introduces
that they
himself.
met. They've met twice now, although Lex couldn't remember who he was.
First time. Yeah, exactly. So he introduces himself as Clark Kent. Lex just kind of snuffs him and throws down a book of Metropolis. And
smashes it to the point where like it looks like a tornado is coming for Clark's face.
And he's explaining how he's getting the hell out of Smallville, going to Metropolis as we discussed earlier.
Yeah. It's a small town vibe. Like, some people just are not into it.
Yeah.
You need to get out, and if you're going to be somebody, you're going to be somebody in Metropolis, because that's where all the big shots go.
So Lana and Clark are walking, and they're talking about how every day, they were asking him to play football, but now they've kind of stopped. They're kind of getting the hint that they're not going to get him to budge. And yes, Lana goes in for a kiss on the cheek, and stop! Is exactly what happens. And he's like, Lana, I like you, but, not like that.
See, I told you, from the beginning, I didn't think that the feelings were reciprocated. Because he's saving himself for Miss Lois Sassy Pants Lane.
She didn't read the book and know that, too, right? No, she told me earlier, she hasn't read the book.
I told you he did not. His feelings were not reciprocated with Lana. And I knew it. I could tell from the first interaction. That's why he didn't get a boner, and that's why he got laser vision instead.
Zing! And now we get to your favorite part. As you've discussed prior to this video.
The Legion of Superheroes, which was so in my
so first I do have a question for you. You asked me a question earlier, you said something earlier, and I do have a very important question for you. Will you be in my Legion of Superheroes? It's okay, you can all out there.
I suppose. It doesn't fit.
She said yes, guys. She said yes.
It fits more on this finger than it does on the others. I can't put that in there.
You can.
No.
So yes, we get to the Legion of Superheroes.
I call it the Legion of Awkward Heroes. Okay, I need to explain this before I get hated on for this. I just thought that this was the most awkward placement. Like, he's just walking home from school, having a downer of a day, and then all of a sudden the Legion of Superheroes shows up. And they're like, hey, we're going to take you on a little joyride. Flash forward to the future, which if we know anything from the Flash and about time, you shouldn't be doing that. And then you get Brainiac, which, hear me out. Okay. What if Brainiac could have been a future Lex Luthor? They have very similar personalities, very similar attitude. I would not have been surprised if Brainiac was future Lex Luthor. Anyways, I know that that's not a thing, but it could be. It could be. Anywho's.
So, yeah.
I just thought it was so awkward. I think it's super cool that he meets the Legion.
The reason that he meets the Legion.
Sorry, he's like, the Legion.
So the idea of him meeting the Legion of Superheroes is so when he gets to be Superman that first time later on in the book, he has that experience of being Superboy so many times where that's why at ease he knows what to do, because he has been superheroing all these years already in preparation for the day that he does, show himself to the world.
Yeah. I love the little friggin' plug of Krypton.
Oh yeah,
super
so
cool. Just
in
sitting on the
future,
building.
We get, because everything is all about
So
Superman.
cute.
Everyone loves Superman. We get all the Legion kind of coming up to him, talking to him, and they have a little battle.
There he is.
Yeah, there's Crypto. Yep. And we have a little battle. They
His
put
little
them.
super cape.
They put them in their place. They run away, and Brainiac is all like,
You
"Hey."
can't mess with the time.
I mean, technically, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
And I really like the way that they kind of twisted on him. He's like, "You're right. I'm sure you can't figure, you figure out everything, but I don't think you can
I'm sure
figure
you
out."
can't figure out how to get Clark home.
No, not home, but like find a way that it won't mess anything up.
Yeah.
And Brainiac's like, I can
do anything.
Yep.
Exactly. Total Lex Luthor. This is why they're twinning right now. I'm telling you, they're twinning. I know it's not a thing, but they're twinning hard.
Clark is home. He is telling Pa about everything that's going on with the Legion. He's just so happy finally. He feels like he has a place that he belongs, and he's fitting in with people like himself. Mm-hmm. And then,
which I think is at the end of the day what he needed. Like I understand that for me it was kind of awkwardly placed in there. Like all of a sudden they're just like, "Hey, we know everything about you," and I get that they were from the future. It just was a little awkward for me. But then at the end of reading through the whole thing, I think that that's what he needed to feel that type of inclusion.
and I think if he didn't have that, his story would have played out very different later on. Yep, for sure.
I get it.
And then we get another spaceship come down.
And let's Krypton.
And yep,
Well, you don't know, but
we're kind
Arf,
of,
come on.
it alludes to the fact that
Come on.
apparently Krypto's been floating in space all these years in a spaceship because,
He's gotta
we
get
can't
back to
save
his
anyone
man.
else in humanity, or we can't save anyone else off our planet. Let's throw our baby in there that was just born. And you know what? We got a tiny other spaceship somehow that we never talk about, but we're gonna put the dog in there. Go find him, boy.
Okay, listen to me. If you had a fire in your house, what are you bringing? You're bringing the damn dog.
Yeah, I get it.
You were bringing the dog. I'd save the dog before you.
Give me that ring back. Ouch. So we move on to Clark. So we move on to Lex now being told that his father has finally
Passed away.
Yep. And, Clark talks, I keep saying Clark. Lex talks about, his heart condition and all that.
He
and
seems so upset, and then all of a sudden he's like,
demeanor changing. Today is the last day in Smallville.
and he's gone.
And you see the Book of Metropolis.
He is off to Metropolis to conquer the world.
Yup.
Hence the start of the next comic.
So then we fast forward.
To a beefy Clark. That is a beefy Clark.
Christopher Reeve was a beefy man too.
He's a beefy Clark.
And then we got one of my favorite pages.
One of the best pages ever.
Of all
Lois
time.
and Clark,
Yep.
yeah.
I actually really want to get a
framed version.
framed version of it. Yes, I really do. And then now we get to my ideal version of Clark Kent, which is
I'm
right here.
kind of I loved the beginning of this one where you have that little old I know I'm gonna fast forward and you hate that because I'm impatient, but the connection is so real with this
Well,
one.
let's not talk about the end yet.
I know, but I gotta make the connection with the little old lady, and they know. They've seen this. This is just from me right now. They're all aware that this has happened. The little old lady who's like, "Watch where you're going," and she runs into Clark, and then at the end she's all happy-go-lucky and was like, "We always look to the sky, and it's soups up there." She's like, we never look up, we always look down. And then she's looking up at the end. Just want to be like, put you in your place.
Oh, you put her in her place, didn't you?
Not me, but the love of soups did.
You got some sprinkles right
You
there.
do too.
So we go to Metropolis, and it is Clark's very first day at the Daily Planet. And as you said, he's looking up. He's so awestruck by the
It's
whole
like-
entire city. Because I mean,
you
I think he
guys-
came from Smallville. Smallville's just like you said, like a small little town, hence the name Smallville.
And it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have, if any of you have not been to New York City, but your first time in New York City, when you walk out of Grand Central
true.
Station and you just look up, it is just like, it's what I kind of would picture Metropolis to be, only Metropolis would be more like, I guess I want to say Emerald City, like Wizard of Oz. Like, that's what it just reminds me of, like glass everything, like beautiful, like clean, crisp. Not so much like New York City, but like just that feeling, like everything is so big. Like that's what I feel. Like I've been to New York so many times, and every time I go, I get that same feeling, and that's what I feel like he would feel in Metropolis.
That's a really good description. Good job.
Do I get an A+?
You're working your way up. I wouldn't necessarily give you the A+ yet. No. So Clark is being everyone's favorite Clark. He's an oaf. He is stumbling. He's fumbling over everything. And we kind
You're
of...
Goober Clark.
Yep, and we get to the Daily Planet, and we see...
The guy with the donuts was so freaking funny.
Yes, he runs into Rudy Jones, which is the custodian there at the Daily Planet.
Oh no, not that guy. Rudy's the one who just steals everybody's food.
Nope.
Like he's like, I want your lunch.
Oh, right.
I want your lunch.
Yes.
Give
No,
me your
you're
lunch
right.
box.
You're right.
Like,
I got confused.
he makes
there.
Clark feel bad about everything. Like, hey, I can't get home. Do you have $20? Hey, I forgot my lunch. I need food. And then eats it right then and there.
He says,
You're a little criminal. That's what you are, Rudy. You're
I
a
didn't have
criminal.
time for breakfast or lunch today. And he was like, well, I have a sandwich. You can have mine. Rudy's like, oh, gee, thanks,
Right.
buddy.
For those of you out there who are Harry Potter fans, tell me Rudy is not Wormtail. Tell me that Rudy is not Wormtail. Anyways.
I mean, he's the parasite, so he's not Wormtail. I'm telling you.
He
right
doesn't
now.
get it. But
Parasite.
just the way that he looks like a rat. Which is Wormtail from Harry Potter. He
I
would,
can
like,
actually,
steal everything.
I can see that resemblance. I do, I can see.
And
that.
just wants everything. No, I'm talking about the donut guy. Like, go forward.
Yeah, yeah. Go for it.
Go forward to the donut guy.
So we get inside. He's finally on the right floor, and we see the chaos of the Daily Planet.
There! Him!
And she is referring to Steve Lombard. He is the
And
sports
who
analyst.
is this?
That is I want to say Vicky. It's not Vicky Vale. Hold on. Give me a second. It is Cat Grant. I'm sorry, Cat Grant.
Well, Cat is a little bit sassy with her answers. Like, I work out too, just not at the gym.
Yeah,
Like,
there is definitely
all right,
an
girlfriend.
innuendo to be made there.
Okay, girlfriend, let's see what you did there. And Dinky Donuts, like, come on. It all goes too well together.
We finally meet everyone's favorite redhead, Jimmy
He's
Olsen.
okay. Like, he's like my favorite part of this book.
Jimmy
he's just
is-
so goofy and nerdy, and like I want to hug him. I
I
want
don't
to hug
think
the living
anybody
shit
could
out of
hate
him.
Jimmy Olsen. I think he is one of the most beloved characters in Superman. He is
He's cool,
Superman's best pal, by the way. Anyway,
and I love how like when he knows, like he doesn't out him. He doesn't say anything. He's just like, "This is cool. This is cool." I like that. He's a genuine guy.
Yep. So Jimmy is bringing in all the food for
All the
everyone
Dinky
because
Donuts.
there's no food at the Daily Planet because everything is.
Do you think that's supposed to be a play off Dunkin' Donuts? Dinky Donuts?
Yeah, I do.
I know, I'm stuck on this donut thing. Wheels are turning, smoke's about to come out, it's fine.
That's what I'm afraid.
We're both out of drinks, so, like, he can't put us out of the fire that's about to come out of my ears. It's fine.
So there's no food at the Daily Planet because they're kind of going under. Things are tanking there.
Yes, they're shutting down.
They talk about how that the globe on top of the planet
doesn't spin anymore
because it's rusted to a stop because it, their electric they can't even pay like to keep it running.
Because Lex is all pissed off because Lois decided to report him.
Well, no, it's not that necessarily. So the Daily Planet is the only newspaper that Lex doesn't own because they won't sell to Lex.
I thought it was because Lois reported the truth about Lex and how he's a dick.
It has nothing to. It's nothing to because nobody will write these like puff piece. Well,
because Lois would write things.
Well, yeah,
that
and
were...
everybody at the planet is very about trust and the truth and
Exactly, and they didn't shine him to be like this perfect angel.
Yeah, exactly.
She wrote him the way that
and he can't buy the planet, so he doesn't own that one, so that's why
he's shutting him down.
Exactly, yes. And then we're introduced finally
to Sassy Lane.
Yes.
No.
To Lois Lane yelling at Perry, and Perry's all like, "God, woman, leave me alone."
That's what you do.
Exactly.
Am I your Lois?
Every day. You're just as annoying and harping.
You see how you thought that this was gonna go sweet?
And right to the point. Yeah. And we also have our Superman and Lois decor behind us. Thank you, Vanna White.
That's what I said earlier. When I was showing the book in the beginning. It's like, I feel like I'm Vanna White.
So yeah, she wants to write the article, expose, the truth and things, and in comes Clark.
Hi, Clark. I'm Clark.
I just love this little panel here. Hi.
I'm Clark.
Can I help you? Perry's like, oh, thank God you're here. She can stop screaming at me. Lois Lane, this is Clark Kent. And Clark's all excited. He's just like, oh, it's really nice to meet you because I'm a little farm boy. And I'm like, the nicest person you ever meet. And just like, Lois is fine.
Just call me Lois, please. But then she takes a little twist and decides she's going to show Clark around, which gets her into the Lex conference.
Yep. So we go over to, she has this grand idea. And we go over to...
I'm a little pissed that she threw the flowers out. I get that the flowers were from somebody that she didn't want the flowers to be, but the flowers... If you don't know, I have an obsession with flowers. I love flowers.
I know what to do.
To just waste flowers. Like, put them in the conference room, hun. Put them in the conference room.
Well, she doesn't, so she tosses them right in there.
They probably don't have a conference room right now.
But she even says, though, she doesn't like flowers.
That's true.
There's a difference there. She doesn't like them.
That's
so
true.
Maybe you are in Lois Lane.
I'm this Earth's Lois Lane.
Ooh. So she finds a, I'm assuming a push-up bra, a blonde wig. I love how Clark looks completely distraught the fact that she's holding him. And then you got this little old lady.
The face is like, yeah, it's a bra.
And her desk is completely, utterly a mess. It looks like the bedroom when you're in it.
Yeah, that's about what my space looks like.
And she's just ravaging through everything.
Whips out a wig and she is on her way. Clark behind her.
Yep. And then, as you mentioned earlier, Rudy Jones gets money from Clark because, he forgot his money and he's like, oh, well, I only have a 20. That will do. Takes it.
Such a criminal.
Yep. And we are on our way to LexCorp.
Where Clark just heaves her over a fence.
Yeah, just at ease, just bye.
He probably one-fingered it, boop, over you go. No.
So, you know, and they're talking about Lex, and he's like, well, what's wrong with Lex Luthor? I know the guy from Smallville. She's like, so you obviously know he's a jackass. And he's like, you
he was
don't?
pretty
What's
cool
wrong?
to me. Are we alone?
So, you know, what's wrong with Lex? And, you know, she goes into everything that, you know, she can think of.
Yep.
And tells Clark her grand plan, which is he's going to go say he's from the Daily Planet, and she's going to sneak in.
But he doesn't know that he's
No.
going to get kicked out of
No,
this
he has
plane.
no idea
He
what's
doesn't
going
know
on.
that the Daily Planet is a
She
no-no.
is sending him in to die, literally.
And he's just all happy-go-lucky because Lois is speaking to him.
At this point, yes. He super everything, but
Look at this, like, super Iron Man.
yeah, so it's kind of like the first Lex suit. Yes, we get to what they're displaying at LexCorp, and that is the new Lex suit, Lex Tech, and Lois rushes in, and
Some security guard.
well, she doesn't necessarily rush in. She's recognized by some security guards because, you know, she does this quite frequently.
Yes.
And classic Lois Lane fashion, decides to cause a ruckus,
Yeah.
and we get this nice little parallel to, again, the classic Superman movie
Yep.
with the helicopter. So the helicopter spins out, Lois falls down the building,
Clark hears her.
the helicopter starts coming down, and then we get her yelling for help, and Clark is, oh, Lois!
He doesn't do that
Lois!
for me, though. If I yell for help, he'll give me a good 20 seconds, and if I yell again, then maybe he'll come in.
Well, yeah, first time is like, do you really need me? And the second time, if she calls again, then it's like, all right, I guess something must be
I
up.
guess I'll get off the couch. Inconvenience my whole day. My COD playing.
Am I really wrong, Will?
I play COD too, it's fun.
Am I wrong?
I get it. I don't not get it, so.
So now Clark decides, well, I don't know if he necessarily decides it. He's just like, well, I guess it's time. So we get the one of my favorite drawings.
It literally looks like Christopher Reeves, like
Yeah.
just like him. It's so cool.
This is such a good panel. I love Gary Frank's artwork. It is so good. I know we kind of talk shit about the faces sometimes, but again, I think
But
it's
but regardless of the faces, they're so detailed.
yeah,
and that's
again,
what
it's those
makes
moments in time where like you wouldn't necessarily capture, and like those are like the moments where things happen. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's not always that just perfect moment.
Yeah. Can you imagine like flying down a building knowing you're about to die?
No,
and then
I can't.
Superman just saves you, like.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happens, and we get the first hi.
Hi, Lois. I like pink very much, Lois.
And then nice view from up here, huh? Wow. She's just like, look out, there's a helicopter.
flying at us.
And then just at ease, one-handed, grabs the helicopter.
Done with you.
Yep, puts it down. And we, you know,
And now the world knows that there is a
the
Superman.
world now knows there is a Superman. And you get exactly what I would assume would happen in this situation.
Mass panic when you never experienced something like that. People asking who he is, what he's doing
Don't touch
here.
him, you know, like they're afraid of him, they're interested, people want his help. But, you know, just... And
The police are yelling at him to not move, but...
And Lois just yells, wait. And he's just like, I'm out of here. And then we get back to Smallville, and he's now thinking, he's just like...
What did I do?
Did I make a mistake? Well, he even says, yes, I think I made a mistake. Because now he knows there is no going
There's
back.
no
And they
going
recap
back.
a conversation
With
with
Ma and
Pa talking about, like, you know, once you do this,
There's no going back.
there's no going back, yes. So, yep. And that's how that one closes out. Next, we find ourselves at
I have
LexCorp
pictures.
in Metropolis, actually. And what we come to find out is that every day...
Rudy! I forgot that he turned into the fucking purple goblin. Parasite.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like a tapeworm.
Do you know what a tapeworm is?
No.
It's a parasite.
Oh.
We are back in Metropolis.
Yes.
Every day at 8 a.m., the gracious God that Lex Luthor is.
I forgot this part in my book report.
Gracious God that Lex Luthor is. He greets the people of Metropolis every day, and every day gives one person a chance. Yes, a gift. And, he is praised and glorified and deified. He is Lex.
Which is funny,
Luthor.
because all of these people seem to be going missing. But how does that give the people outside waiting to come in any type of satisfaction?
Well, they
what
could be
they're
going,
hoping
like,
for?
maybe they are traveling the world. Maybe they are, his business people. Just because you don't see them, you don't know what opportunities he's affording them.
It's true.
So Lex walks out, and they recognize that Rudy has a Daily Planet badge on. So now, after the whole fiasco that happened with the Daily Planet and Lois,
Rudy can get all the snacks he wants now.
they're like, "Ooh, someone here for the Daily Planet." Is, because they, his security guards always help him pick out because they're his eyes kind of on the field.
Yep. And he's praised
So
as
they're talking about this
god.
guy with the Daily Planet badge, and they're like, "Oh, well, let's snag him because we can get some answers and we can, figure out what's going on there." So they Lex picks Rudy, and Rudy's just right there. Oh, thank God, my luck is changing. My life
Things
is
are
going to
turning
change.
around.
Oh, he is.
He
he's
doesn't
just
know what's
so
coming.
happy because he gets his free ride like he always
He
wanted.
doesn't know. He thinks he's getting like 1,000,000 sandwiches when he's...
I actually love that. So they're talking about what he can get, and he's like, "Oh, we'll put you through schooling. You're gonna be the smartest man that I know." He's just like, "I'm not really the school type. You mind if
give
we
me
take all the
food."
money that it would take to put me into school and just kind of give it to me instead? I could really use that right now." Yeah. And then we are back at the planet. Everyone's kind of going crazy because a man just flew.
Yep. So, like, what do you do with that?
And Lois is just like...
Lois is like, I'm gonna write about it.
Yep, she is already on it. And two of Lex's people come in and like, "We want Lois now." And Perry's like, hell
No.
you're getting Lois. Lois is just like, "No,
Got this.
I want to go."
I need the
And
sympathy.
then you two Four Eyes looking at Clark and going, "Me?"
Why me?
Because
Yeah.
he was there.
Yeah. He's the one who got kicked away.
Yeah,
by the
so
way.
they recognize him.
Freaking Rudy's just down in
And then we get
donuts.
Rudy with the donuts. This is what I
Popping
thought you meant
donuts
about the donuts earlier. I was like,
he's
whoa.
popping donuts like they're Tic Tacs, man.
He is just all about his donuts and food. He is a very hungry man, which kind of makes...
If I saw a plate of donuts, I would be in it too. I'd be all up in that.
Stay away from, like, pink radioactive goo then.
Okay.
You don't want to become a parasite.
Okay.
Because that's exactly what happens. So he's eating donuts. This chemical that LexCorp is working with is spilling out in the ground. And it spills onto one of the donuts that Rudy drops. And he's like, "Oh, I dropped a piece. Gotta get every crumb." And eats it.
Because nom nom nom.
Yep. So now here we are in Lex's office. Lois and Clark are there. And they're discussing, actually they start discussing Lois's father, General Lane. And how he
Yes.
knows him and how they're working together. And, she's kind of little taken back by that because they're strange. They don't really
Yes.
get along very well.
Yep.
And they don't talk very much.
I did pick up on that.
Mm-hmm. Her and General Lane are not on the best of terms. Usually in most cases,
Yeah.
actually, in stories. So they're trying to put Rudy through some physical fitness. And Rudy's just like, "This really ain't my thing. You got any more donuts?"
Same. Who does physical?
And then Clark's like, "Hey, we actually know each other, Lex." And Lex's like, "I don't know you."
It's like, remember in school?
He's like,
remember the kryptonite that you almost murdered me with?
And actually, Lex does remember. He's like, "I remember those glasses from anywhere," because you know those glasses are so iconic. And they're trying to charge them with trespassing. Mm-hmm. And then there's kind of a disturbance outside the door because Rudy decides
Radioactive donut.
Yeah, and he does not turn into Spider-Man, like, you know, the radioactive spider.
Tapeworm parasite.
Yeah, yep. So we get the birth of a parasite come into play. And kind of...
and then Clark
hears it. And he's like, "I think we should go."
We gotta go. Lois is like, why? Did you use the bathroom before or not?
We should go. Why? He's like, "Well, we're clearly not getting anywhere here. We haven't even really talked to the man." So the walls burst in, and here comes the first image fully of Rudy, the parasite, and all we see is "smells good."
He's carrying the dead body of a woman.
Oh, and because what you need to know is the parasite, what he does is when he touches you, he absorbs all your energy. So sucks the life force out of you. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, Lois turns around and Clark is just gone. And this is the first time that has happened to her. It won't be the last.
Mm-hmm. Clark is always disappearing.
And Superman's just like, "Let's take this outside." You get Rudy. "You mean take this to go?"
It's always
and then he's trying to eat Clark. And he, attaches and he starts giving him a hickey on his neck. Sucking the life out of him. And then you get...
Clark's face.
Yeah. And you get the classic line, "Didn't your mother ever teach you to chew with your mouth closed?" Oh, not to bite people. I'm sorry. I got the line wrong.
Either way, it was funny.
Not to bite people. And they duke it out all over, Metropolis for a little bit. And it's not really all over Metropolis. It's just downtown Metropolis. And Clark finally subdues him by using his freeze breath.
Freeze breath.
And then Lex barges in and he can't believe what he's seeing. He cannot... That look of disbelief is just so amazing.
Like, not the fact that Rudy's a parasite, the fact that Superman is real.
Yeah, and it's more frustration that the people of Metropolis have now turned their attention away from him.
Yeah.
And now it's a miracle, and then you have right here, miracles don't exist.
Yeah.
He cannot believe that this is true at all. There's got to be some strings.
You explain yourself.
Yeah, pretty much is exactly what happens here.
Explain why you're in my city.
And he starts, calling Clark out. And he's just like, "Why are you here?" "No, to help people." He's like, "Oh, you want us to bow down to you? To stay away from him. He's infected. He clearly is, radioactive."
Making him out to be such a bad guy.
So he has to turn the positive attention away from Superman because he can't have, he is the savior of Metropolis, not this alien, not this other person. Cannot be. It has to be Lex because he has a complex.
He's got a kryptonite.
A kryptonite complex.
Yeah.
More drink. So Clark flies over to the Daily Planet, and he's kind of sitting by the globe, and he turns around and he sees Jimmy standing at the end. He's like, "Wait, no, don't jump!" He's like, "Jump? Are you crazy?"
I just need to get away from this craziness.
And Jimmy is all of a sudden just like taken back. It's just like, wait, you're the guy that can fly.
You're the Soups.
He doesn't have a name yet.
He's Soups.
Yes, he is Superman, but he doesn't have a name yet.
Yes.
And he's like, if Miss Lane and Perry could see you, or Mr. White can see you now. And he's like, "Well, what are you doing up here?" "Well, like you said, I can fly. What are you doing up here?" So
That's clever.
And Jimmy it's kind of a sad part too. He's kind of talking about how, you know, he's got to move back home to New York, to Yonkers, New York, because, you know, it's just he's not making it. You know, the Daily Planet's going under. He can't seem to, you know, get anyone to run into his work.
Yep.
And he kind of feels it's time to move on from his dream. And Clark kind of recalls a similar conversation because I think, if I remember right, his parents aren't really supportive of Jimmy, but Clark's thinking about how his parents are kind of the exact opposite.
I think with Jimmy, and I don't know, I can't remember if he says it in this one or not, but doesn't he say something like, you know, I have to go back home and my parents have to say I told you so?
Yes,
like
that's
it was
exactly,
a mistake coming to Metropolis.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, he's like, wait, can I get a picture? I don't think, Superman doesn't necessarily offer him the picture, but he's like, wait, can I get a picture? You know, and he's like, it would mean so much to me. And we get Clark kind of contemplating for a second. He's like, you know what? Of course.
Yes.
So we get Superman just awkwardly standing there, and he's like, well, you know what? Something doesn't seem right. Something's missing.
Put your hands on your
hips. And it's just like, what? Eyebrow raise and everything. What? He's like, I don't know. This feels kind of weird. She's like, nah, it looks great. And you get the flesh. So now we go to the famous article of Lois Lane. Mm-hmm. And, you know, she's delivering it to Perry. And he's like, well, we don't have... What do we have to go with it? And Jimmy comes in with the famous picture of Superman. And he's like, hey, I've got it. And they're like, who are you? And he's like, name's Jimmy. Jimmy Olsen. And then Lois is saying, you know, hey, well, you're looking at your new dream team. Mm-hmm. And there you go. The team was born. And it's, I think, a perfect origin for the whole Daily Planet thing, how they get Superman in the article.
Yep. And it's all to help a kid out. Like, at the end of the day, it wasn't...
Yes.
It's just to help.
Yeah, Superman wants to help in any way, shape, or form. And that's what I like about Superman. Mm-hmm. And then you get, as we were talking about earlier, all the other newspapers.
The Galaxy Gazette.
Yeah, you get all these, and, you know, they're all trashing on Superman until...
The Daily Planet meets the Superman.
Yep. Meet the new savior of Metropolis.
Meet the city's new savior.
Yep. And Lex cannot have that. Nope. And as he straight up says, this means war. So we get Superman lifting a car, and Jimmy's all like, hey, got time for a picture?
Yes, sir.
All right, what do you think? And he's just like, it's perfect. And Lois is, nice shot, kid. So, you know, the Daily Planet is now, like, back in business. Mm-hmm. They're
the only ones reporting the positive news.
Well, but they're the only people who have the pictures of Superman. Jimmy is getting all the exclusives.
Yep.
You know, they're all got kind of some pictures, but Daily Planet has it. Mm-hmm. And it's all positive news. It's all taking away
from Lex's big old plan.
Yes, just his fame. He needs to be that person. And then we discover he is talking with her daddy-o. Yep. And then we move on to finding out that the flowers from earlier are from someone working with General Lane, which is John Corbin. Mm-hmm. John Corbin is kind of a...
who's in love with Lois.
Love and Lois, but I think she's like, we went on like 2 dates.
We went on like 1 date.
Maybe
calm
one,
down.
yeah. We went on 1 date.
Sit down and calm yourself. I wonder if General Lane had anything to do with it. Mm-hmm. Like, you're the perfect person for my daughter. I'm going to set you up.
It's quite possible. But he becomes a dick. And, you know, she's like, get away from me. And he's like, don't you dismiss me.
Be like, backhand you. That's what I would do.
And in the nick of time, of course, Clark is there. Excuse me.
Excuse me, sir. She said don't touch her.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything. And it's just like, before they can say anything, he's like, well, who are you? And he's like, oh, hi, I'm Clark.
I'm Clark. I'm here to save the day in all ways.
And he's like, I'm Sergeant Corbin. And I love how Clark gives him quite the firm handshake. And Corbin's just like, but I can't show you that you're stronger than me. So, he kind of dismisses Corbin, actually, as much, in kind of a parallel to...
Lois is a little starstruck.
Yeah.
Can I buy you some lunch?
Well, that... One second. So we get to Lois looking at Clark, and she's kind of like, no one has ever stood up to that man like that before. And I love Clark. She's like, well, must be the glasses. And he's like, well, can I buy you some lunch? Because now he's like, I can score a date. I just, won some brownie points. And then we get the first time she calls him Smallville.
Super cool.
You're on Smallville. So now they got Parasite locked up. They're building this suit made out of the kryptonite. The power of this new suit, because it's going to be the new technology. It's going to power soldiers, and Corbin actually is the one to volunteer for the Metallo project.
It's all bananas.
Metallo. It's usually, I pronounce it Metallo. People pronounce it differently. So they're out to lunch, and Lois just like, all right, what's the deal?
What's your deal?
What's the deal?
Give me this.
This is all an act, right? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, what? Who are you, really? What do you mean, Lois? Like, she's trying to really get beneath Clark's persona here, and she is just playing up the whole...
I'm just a normal guy.
No, yeah, he's playing up the mild-mannered, clumsy Clark Kent so well.
I don't know what you mean, Lois. What are you talking
where
about,
he spills a glass of milk. And it's like, oh, gotta go.
Loser. Not high and dry.
And she's like, I thought you were buying. And Lois Lane, what were you thinking? Like, how did I have that moment of he could be anything? And, I took that as maybe she thought for a second there
that he might
have been
Soups.
Superman. But, it can be taken two ways, I think.
Yeah.
So he goes and sits down with General Lane. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of like, so I see you've been hanging around my daughter. He's like...
Playing the whole dad role.
Kind of thought it was a free country. Kind of thing. And he starts asking him some questions, and he's like, what exactly, what exactly are you doing here? What do you do with my daughter, kind of thing? And she's like, I'm not too entirely comfortable with this conversation. I think I'm going to go. Mm-hmm. And Superman tries to leave, and of course, he is ambushed by a bunch of soldiers, and he is trying to do the best he can to, like...
Not harm anybody.
Yeah, disarm them without being violent whatsoever. And in comes Corbin with his Metallo suit, and he's like, nice suit! How do you like mine? And Superman and Metallo duke it out a little bit. He is getting shot with the kryptonite heart that is powering the suit. And so he's kind of in a panic situation, so he kind of has to get out of there quick. And in his, I guess, I don't want to say sloppiness. He's not being sloppy, but he's just...
You can't move. Like, it's kryptonite. You can't...
He's kind of stuck in a situation, so he's bouncing off, like, bullets and stuff. And unfortunately, a soldier winds up getting wounded, as well as Metallo, John Corbin. Mm-hmm. And, he's just like, oh, God, this guy needs a medic. And just gets the hell out of there. Yep. We move on to Lex operating on Corbin, and he's being asked, like, can we save Sergeant Corbin? And Lex is just like, of course we can save him. As he's holding up a piece of kryptonite. So he has his plans to his plans. We cut to Lex, and we get this like horror-esque looking. He's alive.
Like it's Frankenstein.
Yep. And their soldiers are hunting down Superman. He's kind of living like a Ninja Turtle in the sewer for a moment there.
Oh, I hope he has some pizza.
We should get pizza tonight.
You know, we should get pizza tonight.
We should get pizza tonight. I want Pizza Hut. We go to a scuffle that is happening out in the streets. Superman is kind of still trying to avoid the soldiers. Mm-hmm. And we finally get to see the rematch between the newly reincarnated
Corbin.
Yes, but he's really not reincarnated. He's kind of still dead. He's like zombie Corbin. Like he's just being kept alive by the kryptonite heart. So it was the heart powered the suit before. Now the heart is actually literally
like the Walking Dead Corbin.
Yes, it really is the Walking Dead versus Superman at this point. And they're fighting, and he's getting blasted because we're getting hurt because of the kryptonite.
The kryptonite, yeah.
And he's just causing so much.
Oh, Lois is so distraught.
Yeah.
Why is she there?
Well, I mean, she's a news reporter, so she's gonna be chasing the story to begin with.
I think she's chasing him more than the story.
Soups lunges over, punches him, and then the mask falls off, and you see that it's zombified Corbin, and he's just like, "I'm not John Lois. The name's Metallo." So
last
then
time he buys her flowers.
And then she calls him a monster, and things don't go too well after that. And now it becomes personal.
He's like, all those flowers I bought you. Brah! No appreciation.
And then we discover that, like I said earlier, that the heart is powering Metallo. And
Soups figures it out.
Soup kind of throws a burning sewer lid and just tears through Metallo, depowering the heart. What seems like depowering the heart at that point.
Yeah.
But then flies him up into space. I don't think killing him. I think it's just enough to like cut the oxygen from him, and then stuns him and kind of brings him back down to Earth. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring you back down to Earth.
And Lane is all like, "I'm gonna kill you," and all of a sudden, this is when you start seeing that the world is, or Metropolis is, on the side of Superman.
Because he saved them.
Oh yeah, he just took down a monster.
He proved himself. He had a statement to make, and he made it.
Oh yeah, definitely, and I think it's a good like first fight for Superman.
Yeah.
To say, to kind of.
Especially against him and Corbin too. Mm-hmm. You gonna take my girl? I don't think so.
And this is kind of like a really like good and important part of this book. I think it really shows and spotlights the character of Superman. So like the soldiers are about to, fight the people, and the people are about to fight the soldiers, and Superman just drops down in the middle, and he's just like, "No, stop, everybody, stop!" And he's just like, "I want you to stop looking for a savior. Lex isn't it. I'm not it. You are. All of you are. Like, you people can be better. You people can show what the world needs," kind of thing, you know? You are the heart of Metropolis.
Which is not wrong. He's very
like,
much true.
That's all I have to say.
Bye!
Almost. So, he flies over to a very raging Lex Luthor. And General Lane won't return his calls. He's holding one of his own awards that I can only imagine that he made for himself.
Probably.
He throws it out the window, it shatters, and then we get Soups holding it.
I think you dropped it.
Did something slip out of your hand?
Sassy.
I love.
That was fantastic.
In the movies and the books, I think some of my favorite scenes are when we have Lex and Superman outside the window.
Yeah.
Like, I love that just whole aesthetic of
Yeah.
Lex is in his building and Superman's just like, we need to talk.
Yep.
All those.
They're each in their own elements.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. And then we have where Lex, full egomaniac. He's just like, this is my city, my people. None of this belongs to you. And it's just like looking at the award like, well, okay. It doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to me. You don't own us. The people. You don't own anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And Lex takes immediate offense to him saying us, because he's like, you're not one of them. Yeah. And
pisses Clark off.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Freaking hear me say piffes. Pisses Clark off.
So, and he's just like, why don't you go back to where you came from? And he's just like, I can't. It's not there anymore. And he's like, plus, this is my home. And he straight up tells him,
I just want to be like Ma Kent right now and make him an apple pie.
I'm not gonna let you ruin it anymore. So he is making his statement saying, I'm here and I'm here to stay. And anything you do to try to get in the way of the people, I will get in your way. Superman is here to stay. Straight up what he says right there. And then we get Clark trying to ask Lois on another date. And she's just like, I gotta go.
I got places to
go. Because she sees a note that on the rooftop, S.
For her secret lover.
Wonder who that can be. And we get there, and Superman's just casually fixing the Daily Planet globe. He's just like, I'm just gonna move this right around. And just, hi. And Lois is starstruck as hell, and he says, I want to thank you. And she's like, wait, thank me? For what? You saved everybody. Why are you thanking me? And he's just for making me feel like I belong. For helping the rest of us.
She is his reason to stay.
Mm-hmm. And you kind of see that she has kind of changed her tune. Where she was in the beginning, very cynical and very harsh on things. She's now, he's given her hope. She is now not a different person, but her view on the world has now drastically changed because a man can fly. Mm-hmm. And somebody is trying to do good in this world. So then we get a nice little panel of them two looking at each other in their eyes.
It's so funny.
And she's like, I never thought anyone like you could exist. And he's like, that's funny.
That's what I said to you when I first met you.
That is. And he says, that's funny. I was going to tell you the same thing. And Jimmy comes up and she's like, whoa, hi, guys.
Let me break this silence.
Am I interrupting anything? She's just like, no. She's like, yes.
Exactly what I'd say. Yeah, you are. Bye.
And Jimmy starts talking about, hey, like, everything's going better for the paper. We can maybe, like, get the globe to, start spinning again. He's like, I think I can help with that. And, flies by, spins the thing. You got this loud, like, I can only imagine what that sounded like how far you could hear that, how rusty shut it was. And in closing of the whole book, we get the final thing where Lois is just like, oh, wait, I have one question. Are you a man or are you an alien? And Soup just looks back with a little smirk and she's like, I'm Superman, Lois. And he flies away.
And she's
I love it. Jimmy's just like, gee, Miss Lane, he's pretty cool, isn't he? Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he is.
He's pretty cool. And then, finally closing up the book, we have Lex walking out of his 8 a.m. Metropolis, savior meeting.
And there
and
is no one.
Not a person to be seen. And now I'll let you finish because I know you love this part.
I just love the fact that it was the same woman from the beginning who was like, stop looking up, you need to be looking down, looking where you're going, and then ends it with, we always are looking up now.
Yep.
Because it's Superman. You're looking up to see if you see
You get a
Superman.
glimpse of Superman, yep.
And she's all happy and positive, and that is the whole point of what Superman is supposed to accomplish.
Yeah, and everybody look up in the sky, and Lex is just
Pissed off.
And then we have one final full frame splash page of Soups to close out.
Yeah. His beefy
And that
Soups.
is Superman Secret Origin.
Poor Lana, though. Like, she just gets shit on. She gets left in the dust.
I mean, she winds up marrying Steel, so she gets some Man of Steel. He may have a suit made of steel, but she gets John Henry. It's fine. She works at a different newspaper. It's all good. Well, sometimes she works in a newspaper. Sometimes she's a scientist with John Henry. Again, DC continuity. Confusing. So final thoughts on it.
It was a really good story. I think Jeff John's writing is fantastic. There were a couple things that I wasn't too sure flowed together super well, but that's just a personal preference for me. It is nothing against his writing or anything like that. Gary Frank's drawing and John Sybil's coloring and the illustration, like everything about it, I thought was fantastic. Aside from the few minor things I mentioned in the beginning, like
I mean, everybody
the
has
facial expressions.
Yeah, everyone
but-
has their critiques on things. I don't expect anybody to be super just like everything is great. And like if personally, I think if you're just like, I love everything I just did in this, like yeah, usually people like when they watch a movie or read something for the first time,
There's
have that.
something that-
But then once you like really get into it, there's stuff that you're not.
The thing is you can't please everybody.
Exactly,
And I
yeah.
get that, and I accept that. Just because it's not 100% the way that I would do it, I can still appreciate it for what it was. What it is, still. And now I didn't know. No, this is the official origin, and now I do.
This is why we do this.
See, now I can tell people about these things. I can go nerd out to other people. Because I know
And now you have
things
some
now.
more comic knowledge. So that is Comics and Cocktails. We ran out of drink a little too early this time. I definitely can say I knew you were feeling it for a little bit.
If you guys loved Secret Origin as much as us, definitely let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know what have you read it? What do you think of it? Give us all your thoughts. Let us know favorite parts. Just
Also,
throw out
if
all
we,
the comments.
if we screwed up on something, tell us. Let us know. We are here to talk. We're here to debate things. We're open for any and all discussions. If you felt a certain way about something else different than us, let us know. We love having healthy conversations.
Definitely. We are here for this is why we do this. We love discussing, talking, and just nerding out with everybody. So, and if you are interested in how we made this drink, if you follow our Instagram page, we're going to be posting a video of making the drink. With all the ingredients, we're going to list out everything, and you're going to see how it's made and what it's made with. So,
And
if
how
you-
fitting. We have Superman glasses.
we never showed the
today.
glasses. We failed.
They're Soup's glasses.
We failed.
Although they have Casey's name on them because I got these for him as a Christmas gift last year.
She's good to me. She's good to me. Also, we kind of have a new setup too. We never talked about that. But we have a little different of a backdrop today.
Yeah,
We gotta leave it that way. I'll Justice League in the back.
So don't forget to give us a subscribe, hit the like button, and check the notification bell to get up to date on all of our upcoming videos.
And don't forget, our Instagram will be in the description below, so you can follow us right there. And we will let us know what you thought of the show.
Yeah, this
Are
is
you-
our first
yeah.
time doing the show, so if you liked it, let us know. If there's books you recommend, anything at all.
What do you
Let
want
us
her to
know.
read? What do you want her
Yes,
to read?
Give me some more knowledge. What you want is what I want. So give it to
So
me.
yeah, let us know what you thought. If you have any suggestions, we are here. We will listen to your feedback. So we hope you guys enjoyed our first show of Comics and Cocktails, and we will catch you guys next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.